Hey folks, Dave, the not-so-evil Viking 13 here with an early look at the upcoming Battlefield 1 expansion pack, They Shall Not Pass, which releases for everyone who has the Premium Pass tomorrow on March 14th. Before I walk you guys through how Operations Mode works here on the new map Verdun Heights, let's go ahead and watch the intro for this new operation.
Verdun survit dans le hurlement des obus. Un énorme rideau de fumée noire s'étend comme un voile sur l'enfer.
Un barrage d'artillerie de cette ampleur ne peut signifier qu'une chose. Il va se dérouler ici une bataille comme le monde n'en a pas souvent vu.
Des déserteurs allemands ayant franchi nos lignes nous ont dit que toutes les permissions avaient été annulées et que quelque chose de terrible se préparait. À la fin du tir d'artillerie, 2 hommes sur 5 avaient été enterrés vivants dans leur abri.
C'est le chaos, la fumée, le bruit, le danger. Nous n'avons plus aucune communication avec le commandement. Nous ne savons plus quoi faire.
C'est à croire qu'1 million d'obus explosent simultanément. Comment ne pas avoir peur?
Verdun is in grave danger. The Germans are on the move in this sector. We expect them to target the village of Samonieu, so we will defend here. Should we lose it, we will fall back to this line by the ruins of La Fontaine. If our defenses fail here, we must retreat through the ravine and unite with our rear defenses on the slopes of Codes 378. There we will dig in and hold to the last man.
That's some pretty intense stuff right off the bat, and if you guys are at all familiar with World War I history, odds are you've heard the name Verdun quite a few times, as it was the longest lasting battle of the entire war, lasting from February 1916 all the way until December, during which the Germans and the French traded forts and front lines back and forth in a massive battle of attrition, with, as you guys can see here in the map, fires and artillery becoming apocalyptic backdrops for the struggle. If you guys enjoy your infantry operations in Battlefield 1, you're going to love this operations map series. Verdun Heights is an entirely infantry-focused map, which actually makes a lot of sense looking at the amount of smoke, which would make it difficult for airplanes to find effective targets, and it's extremely hilly with a really deep creek ravine cutting the map in half, making it almost impossible for vehicles to navigate the terrain. To complement this, the behemoth for this particular operation is not a behemoth at all. You actually just get extra spawns for the elite classes, including the new French Trench Raider. The Trench Raider is, as you might expect, a melee-focused infantryman. He's got extra armor, and he excels at sprinting behind enemy lines and taking them out in hand-to-hand combat. The Trench Raider rapidly became the class that you would want to be watching out for the most. Flame Troopers and the heavy assault guys are easy to spot at a distance, but the Trench Raider can move so quickly that before you know it, he could be back behind your lines, causing all kinds of havoc. What you guys are looking at here is a life and death struggle over the first set of points in the operations mode, which is the first village that you get to at the edge of the map. Our team did a great job holding the line here, but once we lost this first village, we were pushed back into the hillsides outside of town. You would think that the additional elevation would give the defenders a much needed boost with all the attacking elite classes, but in reality, the map opens up so much after this south village that it becomes very, very easy for enemy troops to flank around your trench lines, even along the hillsides, and they'll end up capping either A or B down that creek bed, up the side of the ravine, and before you know it, you're not fighting just along the front lines of where you thought the enemy might be, but you're shooting back and forth across the gully from A to B. The amount of space that opens up later on in this map is really impressive and gives the map a lot of breathing room. As you can also see from this footage, one of my favorite weapons for this operations mode was the Chenot low-weight LMG, which is the new LMG for this DLC for the support class. It has the slowest fire rate of any of the LMGs in the game, but it hits very, very hard. I expected that once we moved out of the village and into the hillsides outside of town with all the trenches and open sight lines, the map just opens up so much, that I would swap over to the telescopic sight version of this LMG, but I actually didn't enjoy it for the most part, and generally stuck with the iron sights version. Now outside of the new weapons and the new map here, One thing that struck me by surprise here in this new DLC was DICE's new music that goes along with it, which is incredible. I'm just going to fade out the commentary, let you guys listen for a minute.
Éclaireur ennemi en vue. Fais gaffe, il y a un éclaireur.
I really love the apocalyptic and dramatic theme that the music takes here in the DLC. It really brings home that French motto. That's the motto that is, of course, also the title of this DLC. The motto of the French as they defended the hills of Verdun: they shall not pass. And as you guys can see right there, there's also a new siege weapon, a large artillery piece that one side will get if they're not doing well in the operation. Until the game decides that you actually need it, it's covered up with a tarp and can't be used. But once it's available to use back at your spawn, if you're the attacking team, you can hop in the seat and drop some seriously huge artillery shells down on the defenders. After the first successful defense, for the second game of operations, I ended up on the defending team once again, but sides got swapped and we got absolutely steamrolled from the attacking team. As you guys can see, this is the area that I was talking about, where the creek ravine becomes a battleground with capture points on both sides of it and a lot of elevation going on. The high ground of this set of points, besides the church ruins on one side of the ravine, is this bunker where I'm trying to hold the line. Once the attacking team has taken both the ruins and this observatory bunker, they then move up towards the forest fires and the defenses of the Verdun forts themselves, and you end up with one very pitched battle with barbed wire and trenches everywhere. Like I mentioned in my CT preview video, you guys wanted more trenches, and it looks like DICE has been listening, as this entire side of the mountain below the forts of Verdun is covered in trench defenses. If the French defenders cannot hold the Germans at the top of these trench defenses, the operation then moves on to the second map, which is Fort Vaux. As you guys can see, we're getting flanked out on all sides in this operation, and the French were not able to hold the line, so the operation does continue. Fort Vaux is primarily an interior map with lots of hallways and garrison quarters that are fought over, but especially here in operations mode, there are a number of areas of trenches around the fort that you also fight in at the beginning. I'll be covering more of this map in a later video, so for now, I'm going to leave you guys with just the raw footage as I make a final stand outside of the fort on a machine gun. A very World War I feeling moment for sure. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for additional videos that I have coming out on this DLC very soon.
Tirez-vous!